Hey everybody. I'm just getting acclimated to being live here on YouTube, and I'm waiting for one of the moderators to jump in. I'm just making sure that the people I'm waiting for are ready to join. Tonight we're going to be doing a mini Akashic guidance session. 2 of them actually for 2 different people. And I am here actually live streaming from the back room at my dad's house, where I do a lot of sessions in the evening, so that my children don't have to clear the house. And this room is full of lots of ancestral memories for me. This room is full of my paternal grandmother and grandfather's stuff. It still smells like them. The bed was theirs. The dresser is theirs. The closet is full of my grandfather's suits. And I think I am just making sure that the person who's here is the moderator. Yes. Awesome. So again, thank you for being patient with me. I had never gone live on YouTube before. We are playing with venue changes because Twitter does not work well for saving. When I try to save a live that I do there, the video quality is horrendous and it cannot be shared or re-uploaded to YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or any other platform or people that I would like to be able to share with. Let's see. So, like I said, tonight we're doing 2 mini Akashic sessions. And I have been guided to go ahead and set the container with the decree and declaration that Mike and I wrote a few months ago together. This is not a typical like Akashic container setting, but I am not a typical Akashic reader. My container is massive and above and beyond what would typically happen in a regular Akashic Records reading. I work with the Quantum Akash, which is the true expanded primary substance that is here, that is also cosmically located, and that is everywhere. So I'm going to set the container, and then we will jump into client number 1's mini session. There is going to be some energy clearing offered both to individuals and to the collective of humanity. I will be receiving guidance about people who are either watching live or who are going to watch the replay or who are going to catch it tomorrow or another day as they happen to stumble across my channel or become interested in my offerings. So I'm going to start by saying that I decree and declare that this container is created, infused, and protected by the essence and light of Creator, Great Spirit, the Holy and Divine Mother, Father of the Cosmos, the Great Abwoon. I call in and thank with everlasting gratitude both Yeshua as the living embodiment of the Spirit of the Christ and the Christed Dark Mother, the mother of the womb and tomb of holy alchemy that I am and represent. I thank you both for your modeling of the way, which is the compassionate, awakened heart and the active, living, regenerative womb. We thank all the ancestors, both past and future, for their space holding, support, and loving guidance. However, I strongly state that only ancestors of people present or people who will be watching the replay who have come full circle in their path of healing, evolution, and growth can participate or guide this journey in any way. We are here to activate and build upon the wisdom codes that are every cells of these bodies that we currently inhabit, as we presently embody the sum total of all who came before us and everyone who will come after us. As such, in gentle yet firm declaration, all siphoning ancestral spirits that are confused or in distortion, any and all other disembodied humans who are stuck on or in this 3D world without their bodies, all non-human intelligence and or AI tracking, demonic oppression, suppression, and possession. And by demonic, I actually mean alien, because we have a problem with alien. And in my vernacular, it's really, really important for me to state that when I say alien, I mean a being or a group of beings who believes themselves cut off from God's source and thus has created it in every aspect of their beingness. So any possession, suppression, attachment, implants, tracking devices that have been placed by groups that believe themselves to be cut off from God and are thus parasitic in nature, including walk-ins who are walking in and walking out, who are malevolent or extractive in nature and not benevolent. And all attachments will be guided to the appropriate place in or out of the realm, in or out of time and space, or space and time as we know it, throughout this session today. And with that, I am going to humbly and divinely request access to the appropriate place within the interconnected organic web of consciousness, love, and life that is the primary substance of the Akash, the true and quantum Akash, for client number 1 today, who is seeking insight and guidance on career. So for person number 1 or client number 1 who signed up for this, I have to tell you that I need to take, before we can do a really thorough, even mini session, there is a crown. I'm going to describe this as a metallic crown of thorns or spikes that I'm seeing. I was shown this as soon as you reached out to me today or shortly thereafter. I found something similar in another client recently, only what you're dealing with is significantly more intense. So this looks like a metallic crown of thorns that has been placed in the subtle or energy body of the mental realm of the headspace. The reason for this is to interfere with mental processing. It is to make it's to like damage certain neural pathways. It's to encourage other more harmful or damaging thought patterns to proliferate and like grow and continue. And it is to essentially interfere. This has been there since you were a child in varying degrees, and it needs to come out now. So for anybody watching or who comes later and catches this replay, this would normally be something that would happen in a quantum clearing or soul guided emotional release session, or potentially another type of session that includes some energy clearing. However, in the Akash, I can only go as far or as deep or as accurately as the client is able to receive. And if the Akash tells me that something has to come off before I am able to share the most aligned and benevolent, helpful information with somebody, then I take it out. So I'm going to be using essentially a quantum laser to remove this, and it's starting at the left temple. And this came in at age 4 for this client and has been varying degrees of problematic ever since. Ooh, okay, I'm peeling it off. We're going to have to disinfect that area. Essentially, think of it as like energetic disinfectant from having something in the unseen or the less physical aspects of the body. Everything comes down into matter. So anything that's in the energy body affects the physical body, and vice versa. It's like chicken or the egg, which came first. Well, we are a whole being, and what affects one part affects the others. So that's out. I'm just backfilling. I've cleaned the area with the highest, most expanded Christed light. And now we're backfilling any areas of this region that look wounded or interfered with your own highest. And by highest, I mean deepest, and I mean expanded, and I mean most evolved essence and signature. So that's done, and now we can start the Akashic portion. This should assist with, honestly, this is going to assist with your question in general, which was kind of like to do a mini reading about, like, if we could do a mini reading kind of about career or guidance in what is most aligned for you as far as a career or work. Removing this is going to make, I'm just seeing it's going to open up quite a bit for you, quite a bit more. And it's going to make these mental tasks feel much less tedious because of the interference that you've been working against for so long. So I'm just accessing your part of the Akash right now. I'm seeing lots and lots and lots of purple for those who have worked with me before. In fact, maybe even this client. Purple is the color of sovereignty when it comes in the right color frequency that the Akash uses to communicate a period of initiation into one's own power and autonomy and free will, choice, and sovereignty. So I'm seeing really, really, really deep purple. I'm doing a little bit of clearing for this specific energy signature. There is something that has tried to interfere with your ability to receive the fullness of your autonomous expression that has fiddled with the appropriate purple energy signature. So I've just removed that, and that's going to make receiving and coming into your own fullness as a soul a little bit easier. You're still in the fire. Like, there is a fire of refinement that's happening. The Akash would like me to suggest to you, and I'm going to say this knowing that it's a can of worms because of everything that may be attached to this concept, but I am going to recommend social work or other such, like the umbrella of social work, counseling, assisting. You have a heart for children, and while you can also and already are of great service to many adults, there is a place within, I'm seeing 3 to 4 of the most likely, like close to your body timeline spirals that you may be assisting and co-creating into form, into matter, into reality, of some work with children, whether that becomes a career or like a permanent long-term career. I'm not certain. It may be something that's more of a volunteer, that's like you giving of yourself, serving of yourself. Maybe it starts at a school. Maybe it starts with some kind of like organization that you feel is in energetic alignment and is living and serving a legitimate goal and is not underhanded. It's very, very important that any organization you volunteer with or work for be in energetic alignment, and for you to believe the people that you are coming into contact with within the confines of that organization or business are working to assist, serve, and love humanity. And if you have the slightest hint that that is not the case, it is likely not aligned. This is not a time for you to be straddling in a liminal space of do I or don't I? Do I betray the calling of my heart because I need money? And I know that that's extremely difficult because the economy is tough right now, but I'm seeing that, like, you are being asked again and again to show up for yourself and to keep proving to yourself, to the inner child within that you've done so much healing for, that you are going to continue to honor yourself. And it is by honoring yourself and being devoted to yourself that you then draw and attract, magnetize more of that into your life. And it's really, really important. There's other work for you too, but that is ultimately what's coming in as the most likely template. There's also, like, I'm seeing a variety of essentially what would be customer service jobs. The Akash is showing me equine therapy is being highly recommended. This would be something for you, potentially for loved ones. I'm seeing horse therapy if you are able to source that, and if it's feasible for you and your family. This is coming up as being very, very healing. There is an energetic contract with some really beautiful soul essence that you may meet, or somebody in your family in your life may meet, in the form of a horse. In the next, I'm getting 8 to 10 months, but weeks would be preferable. Feel into this. Customer service jobs, I'm also seeing, like, I can tell you hurt. So the Akash is showing me that there is some physical discomfort. And I feel like you're making progress on associating or figuring out what energetically may be able to be adjusted to help how you feel physically. And this does need to be carefully weighed along with the what is the heart call? What is the heart call? Where are you being guided to share your gifts and your experiences? There is a woman in purple who is presenting herself to me as, you could think of, like, this is part of your soul family. And her recommendation, her beautiful and firm recommendation, is that you need to write, that you actually need to be writing as well. Writing is supposed to be extremely therapeutic for you. This could be prose or poetry, some of both. Some of the release work that you are currently, like, standing at the precipice for is going to come through writing. And I am seeing you developing like a little bit of your own ceremony or ritual, and writing to clear, and then going through a process of destroying. Maybe you keep a copy, depending on what it is, but what the Akash is asking me to tell you is to go through a process of writing about what you need to release and then burning it, and doing some kind of a self-designed ritual, in a very ceremonial way, in a very sacred way. You have grown immensely in the last year and a half, but there is always still evolution occurring. It doesn't mean that you have to be over focused on it. Making sure that there's time for leisure, rest, and play is really, really important. There's significant womb space clearing that I'm seeing is coming up for you. If you are feeling a little bit blocked, it is very, very likely that some of the next big work that you need to do, to move past what feels like it's holding you back, is going to be navigating some more of the energetic womb space, both for yourself and then the significant ancestral wounding that you are holding that has landed in your body and field because you are the one who's clearing it, for the lineage. So I'm just going to continue feeling into what else needs to come through. I know that this is tough when you are navigating which direction to go for a career, but I am feeling like it is important that you not be in a job that requires you to be on your feet and standing still for multiple hours at a time. If there's some movement and some walking around, that could be okay. Another job option, and I'm just going to offer this because it dropped in, they showed it to me very clearly, would be like a vet tech, where you are connecting on an energetic level with a variety of animals, and really assisting energetically with the stress and fear that animals feel when they have to have an appointment too. So that's actually being recommended as something that would be a possibility if you are not feeling that it is aligned to work with children or in some kind of a like social work, counseling, therapy capacity. There's a rope that looks like the word I'm being asked to use and convey to you is tether. There is a tether between you and another person. There is some reciprocity. I don't want to say that so and so has you courted or you have this person, courted against their will. It doesn't feel like that. Rather, what the Akash would like me to share is there is a connection that is coming up for your review. So for review, as in look at where is this sacred connection healthy and integrated and special and nurturing on both ends, and where are we potentially, and is there a potential for codependence? That's what I'm seeing, and that's why the word tether is being used. It's not like it's not like someone has bound you to them, but there's like a little bit of integration and evolution for an important connection that's coming up for review. That's the best language that I can put to it in a public setting. It's very likely that you are moving into a time about to step through the doorway into actually examining not just one, but 3 such connections in your life. There's, as frequently happens in my work, I'm being shown a chain around, like shackled to your left ankle. There is, so I would like for you to think of this as metaphorical for an ancestral harm that's traveling the lineage on your mother's side of the family. This is also, again, not something that I typically address in an Akashic session. This happens in other bodies of my work. I am being advised that while I had clearance to take the crown of thorns off the head region, this ankle chain is something that you need to bring and be a participant of. I feel that you are very qualified to address this yourself. And your guidance, your loving soul family connections and guidance within your aspect of the primary substance of the Akasha is telling me that you will right away understand and have deep comprehension for what has been traveling the line on that side of the family that is affecting, that's weighing you down, that's yanking at the left side of your body. And that you should be able to remove this yourself. And then it would need to, you would need to determine where that energy is to be returned to. If you need help, I'm happy to assist you in a session, but this is something that you need to participate in because of what it represents. I want to tell you that at least as far as your, the Akasha is asking me to convey that it stopped with you. It stopped with you, at least as far as your line goes. It has not carried on to generations that are younger than you. Now, whether or not you have siblings and they have children, that's not what I'm viewing today, but you stopped it. You are the lineage chain breaker. And the chain breaker comes and is typically the black sheep, is typically the one who remembers, and is typically the one that everybody else resents and dislikes, and oftentimes even expresses hatred for, because you are the one there to make sure that nobody else goes through what you have gone through or are going through or have been energetically resisting or battling for your whole life. I want to tell you that I'm being shown kind of a general incarnation plan. And I know that this is a difficult concept for many. And I do not believe that we plan some of the harm that happens to us once we get into this realm of clashing free will. But I can see that you did plan an accelerated and rapid evolutionary life in which you were going to learn maybe learn is not the right word. How about experience many, many things, and use those things ultimately for your own growth and evolution. Okay, so as far as general health, mineral balance feels to be a little bit off, and I would recommend tweaking the body's mineral balance. A probiotic mouth rinse is being recommended for you. I have never taken this, but chlorophyll. You might research chlorophyll. That's one that I haven't recommended very often, and it just dropped in very strongly as something that could be beneficial for you. I want to state that I am not a doctor or a medical professional. I am an energy intuitive who happens to receive significant information about people's health and physical bodies. And as such, I am wanting to mention that everybody is responsible and completely in their own autonomy and sovereignty when making decisions about foods and supplements and really everything. So I am offering it to you. The Akash is offering it through me to you. And everything here is on a free will. I'm offering it. I'm not telling you to do anything, and you have to use your own judgment and do your own research as to what is going to be healthy or beneficial for your body. So I am just going to close my eyes again and do a quick scan and see if there's anything else. It's really, really, really important that you allow the fire to burn. The Akash wants me to end with that. And I have never seen this animal as an archetypal power animal or archetypal energy. They're just stepped into my inner vision for you is a huge camel. And with the message, it is very important for you to allow the fire to burn and to reserve the water. Okay, so in my work, many of you who may follow me or read what I write, I always talk about the paradox of water and fire. The womb is both, and I hate to break it to you, but you're not done yet. So when I went through this massive initiation for a while of the coming into like the work that I now do, and rapid levels of awareness and consciousness, I got to a point where I thought, okay, I got there and it's done. Well, it's never done. And I'm being shown the camel so that you can meter this out and measure it out and make sure you always have enough in reserve for you. I hope that makes sense. But allow the fire of transformation to continue to burn away all that is not actually you, so that you can continue to step into your remembrance and your becoming. So I hope that this was great for a great mini session for client number 1. I feel like that is complete. The last thing the Akash is asking me to mention is simply I'm being shown a gold band on your left wrist that could either be a solid gold bracelet or some kind of a shackle or handcuff. And then I'm supposed to remind you that you are your own keeper and you decide whether you are in prison or paradise in each given moment. So I hope this helps and gave you some ideas about career potentials as well as what's going on energetically with you, and some clearing that's coming up. So with that, I'm just going to kind of open my eyes for a second. As I shift into client number 2, I wanted to thank you again for coming, for being here. Like I said, I usually have done this on Twitter and am not happy with the poor video quality since I can't share it anywhere else. So we're going to be moving over to YouTube and probably some other platforms And so appreciate you guys being here. So now I'm just going to kind of recalibrate myself. And so for client number 2, as I was feeling into this for this individual, what keeps coming up is you cannot be responsible for the emotional weight of the masculine or the other men in your family circle or your family line. And frequently it's clear, like as I access your part of the Akash, it's clear that you have taken on the responsibility of moderating and stepping into, like I'm going to say you stepped into the role of the mature adult from a very young age, because there was a necessity for it. I can see it was necessary. I can see you were stepping up where it was needed, but now it's time to go ahead and allow yourself to step back and really, really focus on yourself and your own calling. You are newer to kind of this paradigm that I work in and work with. So I will tell you that I have known for some time that there is, I'm just going to say it. We can discuss maybe what it means another time, but the current soul link that you are, like the template that you're working with or that you incarnated from, is as some kind of 6D angelic. And when I use the word angel, I don't mean anything necessarily that somebody would typically think of as biblical. Angels are much different and much more encompassing. And I think we're still learning what these very evolved, expanded beings entail. So I will tell you that your soul template is kind of a 6D, and that is density. I'm supposed to clarify that's density, angelic. So you do not have to protect your mother, and you also do not have to continue. Here you are into your 20s, kind of like being the mature, balancing moderator and peacekeeper of all of the household energies or family energies. It's very clear, your guidance, like your soul family, the constellation that I'm viewing in the cosmic quantum Akash, is showing me that you did come to have an experience of being like the peaceful one, the one who's helping everybody else come into balance. But at this point, it's time to allow that to be something more minimal while you fully come into yourself and decide how you want your life to be, and work on developing healthy connections that are for you and very nurturing for you and your ultimate life and love and goals. And while life is not just about happiness, everybody deserves the right to seek some happiness or to have the time and space as a younger person to explore what they find enjoyable and also what they find intolerable. Because there are jobs that I thought, or careers I thought I may have liked to have had when I was in my mid to late 20s, that I now know in my 40s would never fly. So I'm seeing like allowing yourself to come into full autonomy is going to involve releasing some of the role you have played as family caretaker. So there is significant feline energy in your Akashic chamber. Lots of black cat energy. allow yourself to accept it, accept that connection by leaving the religious thought forms that have surrounded you periodically through your life behind. And you have the power to alchemize those. There is one that lurks. There's actually like a thought form that I can see. We're going to go ahead and we're going to say this is a little bit more than just a thought form. This is like a lower astral entity that combines with human religiosity, that lurks around the basement structure of the place I believe you must be living in. And I'm just seeing that you have already, even though you're newer to this, you can command it to go. Send it for, I'm being told you can send it to the sun, and the solar Christed impulse is going to deal with this religiosity. That's kind of a lower astral entity as well. It is siphoning and energy extracting very, very intentionally, even if it's a slower extraction. So that's coming up. I see a dog. I see a beautiful dog who's now transmitting this to me to tell you that a boy and his dog are always best friends. And I'm feeling a little emotional as that was transmitted to me. And so I believe I'm being shown you and this dog when you were a younger child, a very close and early connection. I wanted to share. He's asking me, I think this dog is male. He's asking me to share with you that he is one of your lifetime like supports, connections. I don't use the word guide in my work. I don't believe in spirit guides, but he is a loving and benevolent family member and guide and guide as in you co-guide each other. You are souls who are connected, who happen to incarnate in this life as a dog. He loves you very much. And is always available to you to support. And he's sorry for chewing and eating the carpet. I'm seeing you at maybe like, 5 or 6, and the dog ate the carpet or chewed up a big hole in the carpet and got in trouble. So wow, like I don't think I've gotten that emotional in a mini reading ever. But this was really, really the pure love, that canine energy, whether it is in the physical reality or showing up in the energetic realms, is really, really special and beyond compare. So that was really beautiful. Let's see what else. Okay, don't let, okay, so currently I'm seeing that there is a thought form that you can address about like money or abundance or finances. And I'm seeing that this is pretty prevalent within your field because of like ancestral experiences and the lineages that you were born into or born as part of. And it feels like this is likely, I guess, like keeping you, maybe you're hesitating a little bit from maybe a potential career choice that you would like. Maybe it's involving going to, years and years of college and lots of loans. I'm just seeing that there are lots of options available to you, and there's one that you've been really interested in that you have like backed away from because of the financial investment. And that is still very prevalent within the potentialities in your quantum Akash, in the quantum field around you. And if you were to choose that, it can and will be financially sound for you to do this. Like I'm not saying you wouldn't have to take the loans. I'm not saying that I'm not stating that you're going to be rich doing this, but it would be financially sound and you would be able to do it and be okay. So I'm seeing that as very prevalent. There's lots of royal blue, really beautiful royal blue swirling around. I'm just feeling into what this signifies specifically for you right now. It is a genuine color frequency essence. It's working with you, like you are working with this vibrational color, light, and sound, light, and color, to continue to balance the throat. So I can see that you've done a lot of work, whether you knew it or not, doesn't matter. You've been from a higher self or more expanded self perspective, working on this for several years. You've come into a place in which the huge softball sized like throat blockage that would come up when you were having to be the one to be nice or be the peacemaker. You've done a lot of work and it's pretty well gone. And you have been really working with this beautiful blue energy to continue living a life of balance in your communication that has really become a lot more mature in a way that not only honors the other, it also honors you. So this work continues, and within the next 2 months, it feels like that part of your current kind of lessons or initiation will be complete. You will have totally gotten rid of that blockage. Okay, so there's a big because this is somebody I know and I also have consent, I'm going to go ahead and pull something out of the back of your left hip that the Akash is bringing my attention to. It is a, how do I even describe this? It looks like really thin, like a really thin piece of metal, like a metal strip, a long, thin metal strip that's kind of been bent, and it's just kind of sticking out of the back of the left hip area. So I'm pulling this out. Okay, this is organic. The way I perceive it is symbolic and metaphoric, though I can take it out. This is organic human thought. So this is essentially, there's some resentment and envy that mixed or meshed with something that was already kind of in your field, like somebody projected some resentment, or there's some irritation too with some debris that was already in your field, and they kind of combined into this thing that needed to be taken out. So that's being taken out, and that's going to be returned to the earth, because none of it is outside of the human creation. If it was, it would have to go somewhere else. So I'm returning that to the mother, and she's going to alchemize that. And I'm just backfilling the area in the hip. Okay, you fell. I'm being shown as a child. You wouldn't have known, like this would have just been another one of many like rowdy outplaying kind of a thing. But I'm seeing that you fell one time, maybe off a bike, and it twisted like your pelvis is kind of like tilted like this, and certain soft tissue modality work is going to assist that when you're ready for it. Acupuncture may be helpful and necessary as well. So let's see. You're already taking the supplements that are coming up. You do need to engage with the herb skullcap more. A lot of the supplements that you're taking, I'm like being shown maybe about 5 of them, and they all feel like they're aligned. A few of them could maybe be a little bit higher quality if you're able to source those, just to avoid contaminants. Sometimes drugstore brands are a little bit of a concern, but they all feel aligned. What you're doing is aligned for your body as far as the different supplements that you're taking. Continuing to watch certain types of grains. You already know this. You are gluten sensitive, whether it's gluten or glyphosate. As Sarah, am not sure. The Akash says it doesn't matter. You live here in the US, so it's kind of impossible to avoid, and that you already know that you feel better if you mostly avoid wheat or other gluten-containing products. And it's really up to you how good you choose to feel, is what's being told. Okay, so the black cat that started out as like a house cat in your Akash just like morphed into a massive black lion. I don't know what else to call it, but massive, way bigger than anything we have on Earth. And I'm being shown that this is an archetypal representation of thinking of the black as like the yin, or the magnetic feminine impulse that everybody carries regardless of gender in the body. So we have the yin and the yang. And so the massive size of the lion that typically would represent the sun, the solar impulse, showing up, with this huge mane that's now this beautiful midnight black, is really representative of how you are here to embody bigly. That's the phrase I'm being given, both like a balance of both these energies, and to do it in a big way. And that for somebody who's newer on this path and younger in years, you are so much further ahead, or more developed on the path, on this particular part of the path, than you would have ever even stopped to notice or know. So let's see. You already know that you have soul contracts with your siblings. It's really important to continue to allow the beautiful unfolding of a lifetime infinite connection with the sibling I'm perceiving to be your youngest sibling. So while you've known all of your siblings for like eternity, you've always known them. There's really some special stuff that's happening between you and the youngest sibling in your family of origin. And so to continue to be the support and the love that person needs for their unfoldment and growth and development feels really important. Some days fasting is okay. What the Akash is asking me to close with is going back to kind of nutrition. Some days fasting is okay, and some days there are days where you need to eat earlier in the day than typically you have been doing. With I'm seeing like maybe you're doing sometimes one meal a day, or maybe you're doing kind of like an IF. Most of the time that's okay, but if you notice you're feeling really sluggish, you need to eat earlier. this is something that I've had come up, the Akash is telling me to mention for several young men in their mid to late 20s, where even though they can do it, it doesn't always mean that it's the most ideal. Sometimes, especially if you're thinking a lot, like if you're in class, if you're in college right now, I'm seeing still like the energy being like burned, if you will, as you're working on lecture, listening to lectures and studying and stuff. So do allow yourself to eat earlier in the day if you need to. There needs to be like more lifting heavy things for you. You will feel better if instead of once or twice a week, you're doing it 3 or 4 times a week. And again, this is about feeling. It's not about looks. It's not about doing this because somebody else said it was healthy. It's doing it because you feel better when you're engaging in that activity. Also, a few more walks. Additional outside time is coming up as important. I know from work we've done together that you already do some grounding outside, but if possible, I know days are busy, but if possible, the Akash is recommending a little bit more of that. If you can get out maybe twice a day instead of once, that would be good. Also putting the phone down or whatever devices you usually have. Like I am seeing that the energy field or the energetic signature around your hands is sometimes warped because you are connected to the devices too much, and you have the hands of a healer. And you will realize this in the next few years that you need to set those devices down so you can maintain and grow what you can do with energy. So with that, where are we at? Oh yeah, we're right about an hour. So with that, I think we're going to just state that I'm so grateful that you guys came. Thank you to both the clients who wanted to do this with me tonight. I am going to be talking with my collaborators soon about potentially starting some kind of a little round table where some of us get on a live. Maybe we'll have a guest, or maybe we'll do some energy clearing. I wanted to mention that I offer a small group meeting on about 2 Sundays a month right now. Sometimes we go down to 1. Right now, that's a private invite-only group, and you do have to be a regular client, but to join that group right now. But I'm thinking about bringing an element of that space into the public or to a more public setting that might be done here, or it might be done on my Zoom. But basically, there would be quite a few practitioners that would be assisting in energy clearing for individuals who would like to come. And there would be a lower ticket entrance donation. So thank you guys for coming. If you would like to connect with me, I did want to mention that I have to move to a package focus. I'll be moving to a more of a package focus on October 15th. And if you would like to book with me at current rates, now is the time to do so. And it grandmothers you into those rates for the rest of the year before you either have to buy like a 3-session package or pay a higher ticket for single sessions. I would love to work with you. If you're interested in what I do, you can look at my links. You can go to my main Twitter. There's a couple different offers that I've talked about recently that you can connect with me for. So thank you guys for coming on. I appreciate you. Have a good evening, and we'll talk soon. Bye.